If your child has a hard time making the R sound, know that it is common for a lot of kids to struggle to say the R sound. I want to share with you 2 ways that you can help your child learn to say the R sound. This video is step 1 for making the R in isolation, which is the R all on its own. Couple things to note before you jump into trying to teach your child how to make the R sound is first check out my video on speech sound development where I show you which sounds are typically learned at what age so that you make sure that you're not working on the R sound too soon with your child, and also if your child is older and they are past that level of mastery for the R sound, then I would recommend that you definitely seek out help from a speech pathologist if your child isn't currently in speech. So here are 2 ways that you can teach your child to say the R sound. Number 1 is the bunched tongue method. For this method, you're going to teach your child to pull their tongue back and up. You also want to teach them that the back sides of their tongue are going to be touching these back teeth. So as you teach them, you're going to tell them to bring their tongue back and up, touching those back teeth. If they only bring their tongue back, but it's too low, it's going to sound more like ugh. So you want to make sure that they bring their tongue back and up. Er. The second way you can teach them to make the R is the retroflex R. For this method, you're going to teach them to bring their tongue back and up and curl the tongue tip up. So again, you want the tongue back and the sides of the tongue touching those back teeth and the tongue tip curled up. And for either of those methods, you don't have to have a mouth model. You can just use your hand to kind of demonstrate for them what their tongue is going to be doing. So either you're saying, bring your tongue back and up, or flip it around and you can say, bring your tongue back, up, and curl your tongue tip up. Your child doesn't have to be able to do both of those methods, just play around with those, and whichever one is easier for your child, stick with that one and have them practice. As you're trying out either of those methods, here are 3 helpful tools to help your child. Number 1 is a flosser. So you can use this in a couple different ways. If your child is having a hard time understanding which part of their tongue it should be touching their back teeth, you can have them just loosely open their mouth. You can go in and tap the back sides of their tongue to help them understand. So you can say, okay, I'm going to touch the back sides of your tongue, and these are the areas of your tongue where you should feel your back teeth when you pull your tongue back. Now try it. If they're having a hard time even pulling their tongue back, you can use the flosser to gently push the tongue back and guide it back. And if your child seems to be responding to the retroflex R, where you curl the tongue tip up, you can have them put their tongue tip through the flosser and the string and tell them to curl their tongue tip and pull the flosser back. So like this, put your tongue through the flosser, now curl it up and pull back. So when you're first practicing that, if you need to use that technique, you don't need to have them make any sounds at first. You're just wanting them to get used to that movement and where their tongue should be going. So you might have them just do that a handful of times where they put their tongue tip in and pull back. And then try it again a few times just so that they get used to that motion. A second helpful tool can be to have a mirror. It can be kind of tricky to see the R sound because it's in the mouth and it's not so visual from outside of the mouth, but a mirror can help your child to see if they're getting their tongue back and if they're lifting it up or if they're curling their tongue tip. So you can use a mirror to help them see what their tongue is doing. And a third tool that you can use if you need it is to have a flashlight to either shine into your mouth to make it more visible of what your tongue is doing as you're modeling the movement for them, And you can also use it to shine on your child's mouth as they're looking into the mirror to see if that helps them see what their tongue is doing. So as you figure out which method works better for your child that they respond better to, once they can make an R correctly, then have them practice that a handful of times, because once they make it correctly, we don't want to stop there because they could lose that skill. We want them to practice it over and over in that moment that they do it correctly, so that we start to build muscle memory for their tongue so that it gets easier and easier to make that movement again. Now, I know this can seem really technical, and it might seem like this is going to be a very boring and tedious process for you and your child, but I promise it doesn't have to be that way. So make sure that you check out my playlist, which is speech activities for busy parents, with tips that come out every Tuesday, where I show you different ways that you can make it fun anytime you're practicing a sound, and I show you different ways that you can practice at home or on the go, and ways to do it in just a minute or two during your day so that it's quick and easy and fun as well. One last helpful resource is my levels of prompting. And what this is it's a video where I show you how to start out by giving your child the max amount of support, and then you gradually fade that support until they're able to do this new skill all on their own. And this is helpful because it makes this a much smoother process. And the great thing for this is this can be used with any speech sound, and it should be used at every step of the process when you are working on a speech sound. Thanks for watching, and with that, we are one step closer to unlocking your child's voice one sound at a time. Now, I hope you will try that out this weekend, and let me know in the comments down below how it goes and if you have any questions. And I hope that you will share your goodness with someone today, and I will see you in the next one.